Hi everyone, welcome to the homepage of the Southern Indiana School Insights portal. This page provides an overview of the project, its purpose, the collaborators involved, and key education trends in our region. At the very top, you will see the name of the portal and three main navigation tabs: Introduction, IDOE Data Summary, and IDOE Data Comparison. Right now, we're on the Introduction page. The portal was actually developed using R-Shiny and integrates data from the Indiana Department of Education for 8 counties in southern Indiana, which are DuBois, Gibson, Perry, Pike, Posey, Spencer, Vanderburgh, and Berry. This data is pulled from the National Center for Education Statistics and focuses on enrollment, demographics, and academic outcomes. As you can see, we have classified or categorized the schools into elementary, middle, and high schools for consistency across the dataset. This project was inspired by the School Insights portal for Indianapolis, and our goal was to bring similar data-driven transparency to Southern Indiana, helping educators and decision makers explore and interpret school data more effectively. This initiative is part of Grow Savvy collaboration, which supports informed decision making through data. The project benefited from feedback provided by the Evansville Vanderburgh School Corporation, one of the largest school districts in Indiana. We also acknowledge valuable input from the Poly Center at IUPUI and generous support from the Wellborn Baptist Foundation. And to the right, there's a banner image with students who have worked on this project, analyzing the data basically. And we have done this project under the class named Data Analysis in the Real World. And we have actually left this button right here for people accessing this portal to have the access to the data that made this portal possible. And scrolling down, you will see the section titled Overall Trends for the selected counties. Here you can toggle between viewing data from all 8 counties or just the EVSC district by selecting the appropriate radio button. This feature customizes the graph below to reflect the specific region you're interested in. And right now, this charts depict data for all 8 counties, while when you press on this button, it changed and now it depicts data for EVSC, Evansville Vanderburgh School District. So next we have these three visual panels, each showing important metrics across recent years. On the left, we have total number of enrollments presented as a line chart showing school enrollment trends by year, and those years stretch from 2007 to 2025. This gives insight into how students' populations have changed over time, which has seen some fluctuation. And next to it, you find the graduation rate. This chart is there to show you how the percentage of students graduating each year has fluctuated, which is a key performance indicator for school systems. As you can see, the graduation rate was at 92.6% in 2015 and it has fluctuated greatly over the years, and in 2024 it showed 91.8% graduation rate, which is more acceptable than the years like 2016 and 2021. On the right side, there's a chart for SAT test scores. It breaks down SAT pass rates by the subject, comparing math and overall scores for the years 2022 through 2024 is what it is doing right now. The trend lines offer a quick way to see how performance is shifting, which is downwards. At the bottom of the page, we proudly list the names of the student developers behind this project, and it was built by students from the University of Evansville led by Dr. Omin Hormali. You can see the developers' names, degrees, and graduation rates right here. We also give special thanks to mentors and contributors from the Poly Center, EVSC, and Wellborn Baptist Foundation, who supported and guided us throughout this process.
So for the data summary tab, we give an interactive graph, as you can see here. Um, and we allow the user to select directly the neighborhood or school from the map or search for the specific school. You can scroll through here or type in the school of your choosing. On our map, you can also see that we allow the user to select and deselect neighborhoods and schools. So deselect all the neighborhoods and just see the schools. Um, and vice versa if you just want to see the neighborhoods. Uh, and then we also allow the user to filter through schools by selecting or deselecting whether they want a charter, public, private, or Amish school. And then the age, so elementary school, middle school, and high school. So let's just look at the public high schools, and it gives us all the public high schools there. And then you can select whichever school. We'll go Pike Central High School here. And then from there, you can select what category you want to filter by, whether it's enrollment, and then you have to select which gender you want to see, boys, girls, or both comparison or both total, and then the grades you want to see, or you can select all. And then demographics, you don't have to select anything else. You can just click summarize and it'll go through it. And then performance, whether you want to see iRead data, SAT data, graduation rates data, absentee rates data, or the iLearn for the specific grades. If you select iRead, you have to choose just the pass rate. And then SAT, you can filter through whether you want to see the reading, writing data, math data, or both. Graduation rate, you can see, compare the races, you can compare whether they get paid or free meals, what kind of education, gender, or you can just select total. And then the absentee rate, simply just select the percent rate. And then the iLearn, all you got to do is select the grades. Unless it's the 3 to 8, then you select which kind of data you want to see, whether it's English language arts, math, both, and then science or social studies, and then select the grade.
So now that we know how the map works and all the filters we need, we will then select the category that was also earlier discussed and simply select somewhere on the map. First, I'll start with the county, and then we click our summarize button. So as we can see, when I click on a county, it populates this data. It gives us some basic information about what we're looking at. And then we also see all the schools that are within this in this neighborhood. For a singular school, we still have the population, which is based on the corporation, but it's just one school located down here. So now that we have this, we can now look at the plots. The plots are itself generate a line graph, and then this green dashed line is the average for the region across everything that we've collected data on. So everything highlighted, this is the average of that data, and that's specific for the performance data. So as we can see with like the SAT, we have different subjects we can select. And again, so it's important to notice that we're looking at an elementary school, so that would not populate the SAT, as that is a high school test. So then we can find a elementary school, or sorry, a high school, and then this would then populate our SATs. We'll go to a corporation for now just to simplify everything. For graduation rates, we also have ethnicities, and it's important that we do have data for those, as some might not contain the specific data. So then here would be the graduation rates, chronic absenteeisms, and then iLearn biology is only for high schoolers, but iLearn grades 3 to 8 contains different grades as well as different subjects. For the demographic plots, we don't have any options, but we get 2 different plots. It's important to notice that on the left side is the scale for all races except white, and then on this right side over here is the white race, and that is to make the scale of the plots even with each other. And then at the bottom we have free and reduced meals versus paid meals, and then again we have paid meals in green, free and reduced in orangish red, and then total enrollment would be in blue. And then finally for enrollment, it's a simple line graph. That's, you have comparison, you also have total, and that can be for individual grades as well.
Hello, my name is Fifi Havlick, and I'm here today to show you the IDOE data comparison tab. As you can see, it's quite similar to the data summary tab. We have the map of Southwest Indiana here, as well as you're able to select the school neighborhoods and the individual schools from a map. If you would like to search specific schools, similarly, you can select this option here and type in a specific school. For now, I'll just use the map. As we can see on the map as well, we can see the different counties, corporations, and then the different schools. If you would like to see the charter schools, those are the yellow dots. The public schools are the blue dots. The private schools are the green dots. And if you would like to see Amish schools, those are the purple dots. If my computer would load. So if you would like to compare schools, you can simply select two schools. I'll select Petersburg Elementary, and let's find Francisco Elementary School. We'll compare these two. You can select both school types and click this option here, do comparison. When you do that, you'll be able to see a graph comparing the enrollment data compared between these two schools. As you can see, Group 1 is Petersburg, Group 2 is Francisco. And you can compare based on gender as well as grades. So, for example, if I wish to not see all grades but only second grade, you could do that as well. If you would like to look at specific demographics, you are able to do that as well. If you look here, you can see a comparison of white students, but you can also maybe compare Asian students or Black students. Additionally, you can check for paid meals and compare the amount of students for paid meals or free reduced meals, as well as total enrollment data. Finally, you're able to check and compare performance data based on different test scores. So, for example, the iRead pass data here, you can see group 1 and 2, comparing those, as well as you can compare graduation rates. Well, obviously not for elementary schools. You can compare chronic absentee rates, which it looks like these two school districts do not, but not districts, schools do not have any. If we had ninth graders, we could compare the iLearn Bio test, and we can compare the iLearn. We can as well select specific subject that we would like to compare and the grades that we would like to compare. And you can do a similar thing with the SAT scores, as we can see here.